Hi, Ellen Reeves here. And let me tell you my story. I started this business, this website, this movement of caregiving strategies, and it pretty much grew out of my experience being a caregiver, primary caregiver for my dad and my grandmother. My grandmother, who I grew up in a two-family home, and she lived with us, so I always had a close relationship with my grandmother. And it came a period of time where she was elderly and she just needed assistance. And I happened to have a background working in a home care agency, so I did have access to the most updated information. I had access to programs and services that I know she could benefit from. So I certainly signed her up and made sure she had everything she needed. There was a period of time where she no longer could stay at home, so I arranged for her to be admitted to a nursing home. And at the same time that that was going on, my dad was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. And I don't think I have ever been challenged as much as that in my lifetime. That was the most stressful time. And I do have a brother, and both him and I, as well as our families, my husband and his wife, we would get together and we would come up with long-term strategies for his primary care. And I recognized early on, my background was very helpful to me. However, I wasn't prepared for the emotional toll that it would take. I wasn't prepared for the emotional stress that I was under. I didn't know what to do with it. So I also recognized that talking with someone, bouncing ideas off of others was very helpful. So once he was admitted to an assisted living facility and then eventually a nursing home, I recognized that so many other people were going through what I was going through. I was meeting other caregivers. I also had so many family members that would call me and ask me what to do because number one, they knew I had already worked for a home care agency, so I had that background. And number two, I was going through what they were going through with their loved ones as well. So I was always helping people out. I was always, that resource person that people called. So I told myself that, you know what? There's something to this. There is obviously, I didn't know anyone my age who wasn't going through what I was going through or something similar, or just was concerned about their parent. So once my father passed away, I took the time to really evaluate all the information, all the knowledge that I gained through the process, and I said, you know what? I have to give it back. I've got to pay it forward. And I decided to start this consulting business, Caregiving Strategies. And my goal is to ensure that you as a caregiver, that you maintain your financial stability, your optimal health, and your emotional wellness. Because those are the three areas in which we tend to let ourselves suffer. I don't think we do it purposely. I think it's very unconscious because we're so not focused on ourselves. So my goal as your caregiver consultant is to help you focus on those things. So I would like to open an invitation to you to contact me. You can contact me. I'm available for a free 30-minute strategy session. And this is a perfect opportunity for you and I to bounce ideas off of one another. You can share your experience with me. And most of the time, people just need to vent. So many people just want to talk about and just voice what they're going through. Because oftentimes they do it in silence. We suffer as caregivers in silence. And this has got to stop. You've got to be able to voice what's going through. You've got to be able to think rationally, and that can be hard to do if you're in such an emotional state. Okay? So I want you to feel free to contact me. I'm available for a strategy session, and I have a contact tab, and I welcome you, and I thank you for joining me.